What if you could rewire your brain to learn anything faster? New skills, sharper focus, even better emotions. In just 30 seconds, I'm going to show you how mistakes unlock your brain's hidden superpowers. I'm your name, and this is Brain Boost Lab. Stick with me to discover science. Backed hacks that'll change your life. Want to learn faster, think sharper, and unlock your brain's hidden potential. What if I told you that your nervous system, your brain, spinal cord, and all those connections to your body holds the key to transforming your life? And no, you don't need a PhD or a lab coat. Today, we're diving into the science of neuroplasticity, how to rewire your brain for success using movement, balance, and one surprising secret, making mistakes. I'm your name, and welcome to Brain Boost Lab, where we break down cutting-edge science into tools you can use today. Stick around, this is going to blow your mind. Visual, animated brain lighting up with neural connections, text overlay. Subscribe for weekly brain hacks. Section 1. Your brain is a supercomputer, and you can upgrade it. 45-500 visual CGI of a brain as a glowing supercomputer with circuits rewiring dynamically. Host sitting at a desk with a model of a brain. Let's start with the basics. Your nervous system is like the ultimate supercomputer. It's not just your brain and spinal cord. It's the billions of connections linking your mind to every organ, muscle, and sensation in your body. This system controls everything: how you move, what you feel, how you think, even who you are. And here's the kicker: unlike a laptop stuck with the same hardware, your brain can upgrade itself. This process is called neuroplasticity, and it's why humans are so incredible. We can learn new languages, master skills, and even change how we handle stress or emotions. But here's the catch: it doesn't happen automatically. You need to know the code to unlock it. Visual splits: green of a toddler learning to walk vs an adult learning to skateboard with text. Plastic from birth to 25. But what about after? Host walking through a park, gesturing animatedly. When you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge. From birth to about age 25, it's soaking up new skills like it's no big deal. Ever wonder why kids pick up languages or recover from injuries so fast? That's neuroplasticity on steroids. But after 25, things slow down. It's not game over, far from it, but you need specific strategies to keep rewiring your brain. Today, we're focusing on 3 game changers: movement, balance, and making errors. These aren't just for athletes or dancers. They're portals to hacking your brain, whether you want to ace a test, crush a presentation, or just feel sharper every day. Call to action. Hit that like button if you're ready to upgrade your brain, and drop a comment with one skill you want to master. Let's make this a community of brain hackers. Section 2, the power of movement. Your body shapes your mind. 500-1500 visual, slow motion clips of people running, yoga, martial arts. Brain animation shows neural pathways lighting up. Host in a gym holding a kettlebell. Let's talk movement. You might think exercise is just for your muscles, but it's one of the fastest ways to rewire your brain. Why? Because moving your body sends signals to your nervous system that scream, "Pay attention. Something's happening." These signals trigger a cocktail of chemicals: acetylcholine, epinephrine, and dopamine, that mark your brain for change. Think of it like hitting save on a document, but for your neural circuits. Visual, graphic of a brain with chemical cocktail, labels: acetylcholine focus, epinephrine alertness, dopamine reward. Host demonstrating a simple arm reach. Here's a quick example. If I reach for my coffee mug, my brain predicts how much force I need. If I overshoot or miss, that's an error. Errors are like red flags to your brain. They tell it, yo, something's off. Let's fix this. This is called representational plasticity. Your brain's internal map of the world adjusts to match reality, and it's not just about grabbing coffee. These same maps help you navigate emotions, solve problems, or learn new skills. A storytelling moment: imagine you're learning to play guitar. You strum the wrong chord, and it sounds like a cat in distress. That cringe moment, that's your brain getting a signal to change. The frustration you feel is actually good. It's releasing epinephrine to keep you alert and acetylcholine to laser. Focus your attention. And when you finally nail that chord, that's dopamine flooding your system, locking in the change. This is why movement-based learning, like sports, dance, or even juggling, supercharges your brain's ability to adapt. Practical tool, want to try this at home? Pick a simple movement you're bad at. Maybe it's balancing on one foot or tossing a ball between hands. Do it for 10 minutes a day and embrace the mistakes. Notice how your brain starts to figure it out. This isn't just about the movement. It's training your brain to learn anything faster. Visual, host attempting to juggle and dropping balls, laughing. Text, mistakes equals brain growth. Section 3, balance, the secret weapon for brain rewiring 15, 00-25, 00 visual, clips of people on tightropes, skateboards, and yoga poses. Inner ear animation showing semicircular canals. Host standing on a balance board, wobbling slightly. Now, let's get into something most people overlook. Balance. Your ability to stay upright isn't just about strong legs. It's a brain superpower. Inside your ears are tiny structures called semicircular canals, filled with little calcium marbles that roll around when you move. These send signals to your cerebellum, your brain's mini brain, to keep you steady. But here's the wild part. Messing with your balance is like hitting a turbo button for neuroplasticity. Visual animation of marbles rolling in canals with arrows labeled pitch, yaw, roll. Cerebellum lights up, sending signals to dopamine centers. Host stepping off the board, excited. When you're off balance, like when you're learning to skateboard or even just closing your eyes while standing on one leg, your brain goes into overdrive. It releases dopamine, norepinephrine, and acetylcholine to recalibrate your movements. And here's the cool thing. These chemicals don't just help you balance better. They create a brain state that makes you better at learning everything else from math to mindfulness. Science spotlight. Back in the day, a scientist named Eric Knudsen ran experiments with prism glasses that shifted people's vision. Imagine seeing a pen over there when it's really here. At first, people reached for the wrong spot, but over time, their brains rewired to match the new reality. Kids adapted in days, adults took longer, unless they made small errors incrementally. This showed us that balance errors, like movement errors, are a gateway to plasticity. Practical tool, here's a challenge. Try a vestibular workout to boost your brain. Stand on one leg for 30 seconds with your eyes open, then try it with eyes closed. Wobble, great, that's your brain learning. Or if you're feeling bold, try a new sport like surfing or rollerblading. The key is to push your balance just enough to make errors, but not so much you're overwhelmed. Do this 2-3 times a week and watch your learning speed skyrocket. Call to action. Tag us in your balance challenge videos with #BrainBoostLab. We'll feature the best ones in our next episode. Section 4, The Magic of Making Mistakes 25, 00-35, 00 visual, montage of famous failures, Thomas Edison with light bulbs, athletes missing shots, coders debugging errors, uplifting music, host in a cozy coffee shop, sipping a drink. Let's talk about the one thing we all hate but secretly need. Mistakes. Society tells us failure is bad, but your brain disagrees. Making errors is the single most powerful signal for neuroplasticity. When you mess up, your brain releases chemicals that say, change now. The trick is to lean into that frustration instead of running from it. Relatable analogy, think of your brain like a GPS. When you take a wrong turn, it doesn't yell at you. It recalculates. Errors are your brain's recalculating moments. The more you embrace them, the faster you find the right path. This is why kids learn so fast. They're not afraid to fall, flub, or flop. As adults, we need to channel that fearless kid energy. Science deep dive. Knudson's lab found that adults can rewire their brains as fast as kids if the stakes are high. In one experiment, subjects had to find food displaced by prism glasses. Because they needed to eat, their brains adapted quickly. This tells us motivation matters. The more you care about a goal, whether it's landing a job, mastering a hobby, or saving a relationship, the faster your brain will change. Practical tool: here's how to make mistakes work for you. Pick a skill you're learning, say coding or public speaking. Set aside 90 minutes for a focused error session. For the first 10 minutes, your mind might wander. That's normal. Around 15 minutes in, you'll hit a groove. Keep going until you're making mistakes and feeling frustrated. Push through that frustration for 7-30 minutes. That's where the magic happens. Then, take a break, sleep on it, and come back in a day or two. You'll be shocked at how much you've improved. Visual: host coding, hitting errors, and celebrating small wins. Text: frustration equals fuel for learning. Section 5. Taming your inner stress monster. 3500-4500. Visual: animated stress monster, chasing a cartoon version of the host. Brain shows autonomic nervous system activity. Host in a meditation corner, cross-legged. To make all this work, you need to get your brain in the right state. Ever try to learn when you're stressed out or half-asleep? It's like trying to drive with a flat tire. I call this limbic friction. When your autonomic nervous system is out of sync with what you need. Too anxious, you can't focus. Too tired, you can't even start. The good news: you can hack your arousal level to prime your brain for learning. Tool 1. Calming down. Too anxious. If you're jittery, try a physiological sigh. 2 quick inhales through your nose, then a long exhale through your mouth. This dumps excess carbon dioxide and calms your system. Or widen your gaze to panoramic vision. Look at the whole room instead of one spot. This lowers epinephrine and helps you chill. Tool 2. Waking up too tired. If you're dragging, try superoxygenation breathing. Deep, fast inhales through your nose, short exhales through your mouth for 30 seconds. This spikes norepinephrine and wakes you up. Or grab a coffee, but don't rely on it every time. Sleep is still king. Visual: host demonstrating both breathing techniques with animated brain calming or energizing. Host: before any learning session, ask yourself, am I too wired or too tired? Use these tools to get to a clear, focused state. That's your starting line for neuroplasticity. Section 6. The motivation multiplier. 4500-5500. Visual: clips of people achieving goals, graduating, winning races, performing on stage. Inspirational music swells. Host on a rooftop at sunset, city skyline behind. Here's the final piece of the puzzle: motivation. Your brain rewires fastest when you need to learn. Remember Knudson's food experiment. When survival was on the line, brains adapted like lightning. You don't need to starve to get this effect. Just find a why that lights you up. Maybe it's proving to yourself you can do it, or learning a skill to change your career. The stronger your reason, the faster your brain changes. Practical tool: write down one goal you're chasing and why it matters. Stick it somewhere you'll see every day. Before each learning session, read it aloud. This isn't woo. It's science. Your brain releases dopamine when you connect effort to meaning, and dopamine is the glue for plasticity. A storytelling moment: I once struggled to learn Spanish. I'd get frustrated and quit. Then I met someone special who spoke fluent Spanish, and suddenly, every mistake felt like a step closer to connecting with them. My brain rewired fast because I had a reason to keep going. Find your reason. It's your secret weapon. Closing your brain, your rules. 5500-6000. Visual: montage of viewers practicing balance, movement, and learning new skills. Host back in studio smiling. Host: so there you have it, the ultimate guide to hacking your brain with neuroplasticity. Move your body, challenge your balance, embrace mistakes, tame your stress, and fuel your motivation. These aren't just tricks, they're science. backed tools to make you unstoppable. Your brain is ready to change. All it needs is you to take the first step. Call to action. If you loved this, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more brain boosting content every week. Share this video with someone who needs a mental upgrade, and let's build a community of learners. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway or the skill you're tackling next. I'll be reading every single one.